brother and I and this guy went out.
We're ready.
Everybody left.
4:30, call the meeting to order. Starting out, roll call. Bob, can you start us?
Bacon present.
Fig present.
Zalid present.
Keyquam present?
Milky present.
Coin present.
Bars present.
Sweet present.
Seeing a quorum present, we'll move on to number 3, approval of the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Melky, support by Mr. Coyne. All in favor of approving tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. The agenda is approved. Going on to agenda item number 4, approval of the November 29th, 2022 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Got a motion by Sweet, support by Bars. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. And motion carried. On to item number 5, correspondence. Anything there? Moving to item 6, public comment.
It's pretty sparse out there.
Looking pretty sparse. We'll move on to item 7, reports. Accounts payable.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Start out with the East DDA accounts payable. We issued a payment to Consumers Energy on 12/16 for $1,717.04. We issued another payment to Consumers Energy on January 11th for $1,793.55. And we have a check issued to Outreach of Mid-Michigan for $4,500. We also, that was for the 2023 Festival of Banners. We also have a check issued to Black Electric for $231.07. That was to change the fall banners to winter banners, and also to replace a bad fuse on a light pole for the Christmas lights. And then we have a payment to Union Township. Part of that payment is for winter taxes for the Yachts Drive property, and part of that payment is also for the quarter utility billing for water and sewer. The total payment on that is $624.26. And then we have a payment to MMI for park bench and grounds maintenance cleanup along Pickard for November for $575. And we have a payment to All Seasons Snow Removal and Lawn Care. This was for some mowing and trimming done on Jonathan Lane for $180. Back in May, somehow that invoice got lost in the mail, so that's being paid now. And then we have a payment to Doug Small Engine for sidewalk snow plowing in the East DDA a couple times in December. That payment's for $1,400. And then we have another check to MMI for the park bench and the grounds maintenance along Pickard for December 2022. The amount on that check is $406.50. So we have total accounts payable for the East DDA of $11,427.42.
Any separate motion?
I just did separate.
Okay, make a motion that we approve the bills as presented for the East DDA.
Support.
Got a motion by Zalid, support by Bacon. All in favor of approving the East DDA check register, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Hearing no opposition, motion carried.
Okay, moving on to the West DDA accounts payable. We have 2 checks issued. The first one is to Rowe Professional Services Company for $66,354. This is for sidewalk design, bidding and observation on the Remus Road sidewalks. And then we have another payment to Doug Small Engine. This is for the sidewalk snow plowing in the West DDA along High Street there for $1,000. So we have total West DDA accounts payable of $67,354.
Does that complete our responsibilities for the sidewalks in both design and construction?
It does, yes.
Okay. I would move that we approve the payments for the West DDA checking as presented.
Support.
Got a motion by Fig, support by Coin to approve the West DDA bills. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. And motion carried.
Okay, moving on to the East DDA financials, looking at your revenue and expenditure report for the period ending December 31st, 2022. You look at your revenues are at about 101% of budget. That's looking good. And expenditures are at about 49% of the budget. We have a large project there that I don't think made it underway in the sewer system. And then moving on to your balance sheet. You can look at the balance sheet here and you've got about 1.8 million in assets, mostly cash. And your ending fund balance is about 1.8 million. Are there any questions on the East DDA financials?
I see our water and sewer charges are 143% of what was budgeted. Is there a reason we didn't budget enough, or just a
When we,
price increase that was passed along?
well, when we budget for the water, we kind of look at past years.
Okay.
And I think we underestimated just because the flows were higher this year
Than COVID
because
years.
Rodney did a lot of work to get the system going the way it should. At least that's what I'm,
That would say that's correct, yes.
Just for the next year, we'll just budget more.
I think we're gonna
Actually-
need to budget more.
Actually, in the
Not
coming
gonna
year,
have it
we're
next
going to
year.
be pretty short because
Oh,
most of
yeah,
our
everything's
systems we
gonna
turn
be down.
on.
Yes, yes.
We
Won't
finally
have
got
it.
working.
Yeah.
You won't have any
Down
lawns
next
next
There you
year.
go.
I'm gonna save.
Anyway, if there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and move on to the West DDA. Okay, so looking at the West DDA revenue and expenditure report, the revenues are looking good, or they're at about 101% of budget. And then for the expenditures, those are looking pretty good too, at about 94% of the budget. So, moving on to the balance sheet for the West DDA, the total assets, which is mostly cash there, all cash actually, is about 898,000. And then your ending fund balance is looking like it'll be about 830,000. Are there any questions on that?
Could you remind me what's on the restricted for the West?
It's all, the fund balance is all considered restricted because it's restricted for projects in the West DDA.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember what we've approved already as far as those restricted funds.
Projects that have not been done yet.
Okay,
Is that, I mean,
yeah.
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, is it actually, on the order of just under 1.5 million?
That's your beginning fund balance. But if you, the 1.4 is your beginning fund balance. If you take into account everything that's on your revenue and expenditure report for the year of
Right.
2022, once that rolls in,
Thank you,
it will be the 830,000.
thank you.
Yep. So are there any other questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hearing no more questions, we'll let the record show the November and December financial reports were presented, received, and filed. Moving on to item 7C of the agenda, board member matrix in your packet. You have something there, Brian?
Just point, we have a vacant seat on the Sidewalks and Pathways Prioritization Committee. This is a subcommittee of the Planning Commission, and so they do the appointments, but if you know of anybody that has interest, have them contact the office and apply, and maybe the Planning Commission will appoint them. Thanks.
Yep. And I see my dates, expiration dates coming due, so I do have my application. I'll leave with Amy tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like mine's coming up, too.
And moving on to agenda item number 8, new business. Looks like we have a request for board approval.
Thank you. So you should have in your packet the request for board action from Kim Smith, the Public Services Director, dated January the 4th. This is part of our project to update sewer pump station number 1. This is the pump station on Enterprise Drive, the property that we purchased at Enterprise Drive and M20. We're still waiting on equipment for that project, but this is the first step and first good indication of things moving forward on that. What we're looking for here is approval of a 12-foot wide easement for Consumers Energy to relocate the electrical service. As you know, we're moving the pump station, as part of the project, we're moving the pump station to the southern end of this property. It's currently essentially in the middle of the property. And so this would relocate the electrical service and allow that part of the project to proceed when it's ready. As part of that, once the project is done, Consumers would be retiring the existing service, and Kim Smith, as she noted in the report, would be working with them to rescind any existing easements. So, as you said, the action tonight is simply to approve the proposed easement, and that would allow Consumers Energy to do their part of the project. I'm happy to answer your questions.
Make a motion for the approval of a 12-foot wide permanent easement to Consumers Energy for the construction and maintenance of 3-phase power facilities to support the relocation of pump station number 1 located at 5800 East Pickard Road.
Second.
Who was this second?
Bacon.
Bacon?
Bacon second.
Got a motion by Sweet, support by Bacon for tonight's request for board action. Any comments or questions? Hearing no questions, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Hearing no opposition, this motion is approved. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 9, pending business. Everything there, Rodney? Director comments? Item 10.
Just one quick update. 2120 Yachts Drive, the property we purchased to demo the blighted building there. That project is underway. The asbestos abatement has been completed. The junk has been cleaned up in the yard. Unfortunately, we're waiting for Consumers Energy to do their part in closing and capping utilities. We've been waiting now for, I think, over a month now at least. So I'm told within the next couple of weeks that will be done, and then they'll take the building down. And then with the last step, the contractor will take care of the last step, which is basically restoration of the site, seeding of the site and such. So they'll take care of that in the spring. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll see that building come down, but there also already has been quite a bit of work done over there.
How do we- Go ahead, Rick.
Now, with the, once that's done, are you going to discuss the amount of taxes that are on now to have it reviewed for the lower property taxes?
Yeah, we'll certainly let the assessor know when it comes down. Unfortunately, the tax is essentially set on 12/31, so.
Yeah.
But
So it'll be the same this year,
right.
no matter, yeah, okay.
But we'll certainly make them aware of the change, absolutely.
Do you remember the abatement cost and cleanup, what that came in at?
Right offhand, I couldn't tell you. I have it, but it's back in the office. Everything has come in basically as budgeted so far.
Okay. Good.
Is the plan to turn off the water then too? 'Cause one of our payments was for that water and sewer.
Right. Actually, that's what that payment was for. Is a sewer charge that we.
Oh, just sewer?
Right.
Okay, I thought it said water and sewer, but, okay.
But well, it's at that department, but it's
Yeah.
it's actually just a sewer charge.
So,
So water,
okay.
the
Water's
water
been off.
has not been on in that property for a long time.
So, unrelated question, but to the motion that we had a little bit ago. So on the Pickard Street, lift station 1, money's largely approved to get that done. Is the plan for the enterprise funds to take care of and start moving that lift station this year, right?
Right.
And-
Yeah, equipment is on order. It's just simply taking a very long time. So when the equipment's available, the project will get underway.
Being that we're getting to that place, what else needs to be done for us to be able to put that property back on the market, I guess? I mean, because that's the ultimate goal, was to make that more attractive, so.
Right. The only other item on that property that is of interest is the Enterprise Park sign. And we're looking at the idea of replacing that sign with a new one that would still provide entrance to that industrial park, but not necessarily as tall, but it also could be a sign perhaps that could be used by a future business as well. So that's the only other project that we have.
Thanks.
Kind of also unrelated, maybe you can let the board know about the purchase by Jerry Morey, Bandit, bought out Birch Tank. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
No,
I had heard that.
I didn't hear you, Tom. What was it?
The Birch Tank, Jeff Harrison's Birch Tank,
Uh-huh.
Jerry Morey bought his whole operation, land, buildings, out.
Jerry did it?
Yep. it's
Jerry did it
already-
or Bandit?
Bandit.
Bandit,
Yeah,
okay.
Jerry.
I thought it was bought, but one of the trailer, wasn't it getting operated by?
Well, part of his business was purchased. The new trailer construction portion of his business was purchased by
That's right.
Mac
Mac,
Tank
yes.
and Trailer,
Mac.
MTT.
Yes.
Yep. And they subsequently expanded into a site in the city's business park.
Okay.
Hearing no more comments, guess we can call the meeting adjourned. 4:50. We'll see everybody Tuesday, February 14th.
You're gonna make your back.